Television Network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us for your statewide noon news. I'm Aja Goare. Millions of people across the U.S. witnessed a historic moment this morning as the moon passed in front of the sun. It's the first solar eclipse visible from the United States since 1979 and the first across the entire continent in 99 years. As CBS's Don Champion reports from St. Joseph, Missouri, it did not disappoint.
A spectacular sight in the sky as the coast-to-coast total eclipse of the sun got underway. The city of Portland, Oregon went dark in the middle of the day as the moon's shadow totally blocked out the sun. Across the nation, crowds gathered to get a glimpse of the phenomenon. This is the first coast-to-coast total eclipse of the sun in nearly 100 years, spanning from Oregon to South Carolina. Millions flocked to the 70-mile wide path of totality.
It's like a big cookie and I took a little bite out of it.
It's like in basically all the pictures you see, but just more magnificent.
During the total eclipse here in St. Joseph, Missouri, it got completely dark out and considerably cooler. You can hear cheers and chants from people gathered. Carbondale, Illinois had the distinction of being in the dark the longest, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And while the focus may be on the path of totality, the rest of the country was treated to a partial eclipse, making it the rare space spectacle the entire nation can enjoy. Don Champion, CBS News, St. Joseph, Missouri.
Carbondale, Illinois also has the distinction of being in the path totality during the next U.S. solar eclipse in 2024, but that eclipse will not be coast to coast. Meanwhile, for the hundreds of thousands of people who traveled to Casper, Wyoming, they got to see the total eclipse where the earth went dark for a short time. MTN's Ed McIntosh is one of those people in the path of the total eclipse. We go to him and Montana's 2015 Teacher of the Year, Craig Beals, at the heart of it all. Ed, tell us what it's like. A little bit of technical difficulties there. We hope to get back to him by the end of the show. We'll move now on to fire watch. Some residents evacuated by the Lolo Peak fire were able to return home this morning. Some evacuation orders were replaced with warnings around 10 a.m., allowing residents to return home. The fire, located west of Missoula, is about 31,000 acres in size and has been burning for more than a month. Fire officials say it's now the #1 fire in the northern Rockies. And meanwhile, the Sunrise Fire, burning 11 miles southeast of Superior, has grown to 24,000 acres. It's 35% contained. Upper Trout Creek, Lower Trout Creek, Quartz Creek, Cougar Meadows, and Cougar Creek are under Stage 3 evacuations. 585 people are assigned to battle the lightning-sparked blaze. And finally, firefighters are also battling a 3,000-acre fire burning in Glacier County. That fire was started by a 7-year-old boy playing with a lighter last Wednesday. Some 32 firefighters are working to stop its spread. It's now 39% contained. We turn now to the weather scene with Rob Griggs. And Rob, what can you tell us about the forecast today?
Well, the forecast is actually returning back to what I would call normalcy for August for most of the state. Now, we've had plenty of this smoke in the sky from western to eastern Montana. Right now, the smoke is pretty much, for the most part, relegated to western Montana, a little bit hazy in central and eastern Montana. Temperatures, as you can see, from the 60s to the low to mid 70s. And, basically, we're going to have another day much like we had yesterday. You can't really see it too well. And no, that's not smoke. That's a camera difficulty in Missoula. Over in eastern Montana, kind of look after the eclipse, you just don't know what's going on. 75 degrees in Billings right now with a light east wind, and those northeast winds are exactly what is going to begin clearing up all of the smoke in the next couple of days out in eastern Montana. So we'll take a complete look at the statewide forecast, what it's going to look like heading into midweek, some of those warmer August temperatures returning. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Asia?
Rob, we'll check back in. New details emerging today in the murder case against 2 suspects in Missoula reveal 2 sets of human remains were discovered in the basement of a home on Strand Avenue. 23-year-old Tiffany Pierce and 26-year-old Augustus Standing Rock are in custody, accused in the murders. Police say the deaths of the male and female victims stem from a home invasion and burglary in July. Pierce reportedly told her roommate that she and Standing Rock brought the 2 victims home, led them into the basement, and attacked one. When the other victim tried to escape, the suspects allegedly stabbed that person too, killing both victims. The bodies had been placed into plastic tubs filled with chemicals. A motive for the murders is still unclear, and the information about the victims has not been released. In other news today, President Trump will give a primetime address to the nation tonight, where he's expected to announce a plan to combat terrorism in Afghanistan and Pakistan. CBS's Mola Langi has more.
President Trump is expected to announce he'll be sending more U.S. troops to Afghanistan. The U.S. will send nearly 4,000 more troops to the country. He's also expected to put new pressure on nearby Pakistan to stop giving safe haven to terrorists.
It is a South Asia strategy. It's not just an Afghanistan strategy.
The president met with military commanders at Camp David Friday. Defense Secretary James Mattis said the decision-making process was rigorous.
Did not go in with a preset condition in terms of what questions could be asked or what decisions would be made.
The president came into office questioning what America was still doing in Afghanistan. So tonight's expected announcement marks a shift in his thought process.
He hates spending the money, and he hates sending our soldiers over to anywhere in the world where it's not necessary, where it's not in the vital interests of the United States.
Democratic Senator Ben Cardin questions sending more troops to the region.
Our objective needs to be that we have a regime in Afghanistan that can maintain some semblance of security so that we don't see growing terrorist organizations again within Afghanistan.
Officials caution that until President Trump announces his own decision, the plan could be changed. Mola Langi, CBS News, the White House.
There are currently 10,000 U.S. troops in Afghanistan, so the plan would increase the deployment by almost half. And a search and rescue mission is underway in the waters off Southeast Asia, where a naval warship collided with a commercial vessel. 10 sailors are still missing. The naval warship was headed for Singapore when it collided with an oil tanker in Southeast Asian waters. This is the second collision involving a naval destroyer in a little more than 2 months, prompting the Navy to launch a broad investigation. Straight ahead on the noon news, the manhunt for the man police believe killed more than a dozen people in Barcelona comes to an end. Details when we come back. But first, Rob has a look at our weather forecast. Stay with us.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and farm and ranch news from the Northern Egg Network. This is the news.